and welcome to We the Village, produced by Ron Hall, and I am your host, Sharonda Allen. On today's episode, we have Lunic the Messenger Boyd. Welcome to We the Village.
Thank you for having me. This is so amazing.
Yes, I'm so glad you're here. I know you're very busy, and I'm so grateful to be able to have a few moments with you. So you are a motivational speaker, an entrepreneur, founder of a nonprofit.
Yes.
Amazing. And you are the type of guest that I love to have here with me.
Awesome.
So please tell us about your background. Like, what is your story?
Okay, so girl, we don't have all day.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you a short version. So yes, I am a motivational speaker. I am an entrepreneur, and I am the owner of a nonprofit, founder, I should say, which is really interesting because, you know, we talked recently, but you didn't know a whole lot of stuff about me. Like I literally just left the media camp that I teach at Rutgers University, and I was on the Parkway headed here to you.
Yes.
So entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. I own a few businesses, but the one we could talk about today is the clothing line. So I have a clothing line, God is Great Apparel, and we do like streetwear, men and women, and we do some stuff for children. So that's part of, we do a lot of marketing, a lot of sales. We do have an online store, and we also are in the streets. We sell our products via vending, and people are always hitting me up, and a lot of people are wearing the stuff, so I'm excited about that.
That's nice. So with your merchandising, how did you learn about the process of merchandising? Did you have to get it trademarked and, you know, as far as the branding is concerned?
So I learned the hard way. I learned the passionate way, meaning I was passionate about something, I had an idea, and I literally jumped out the window before I even learned the back end of it. And I don't suggest that to everybody. I do say jump out the window, but I do say go get educated. Do the research first. Don't do what I do. Don't do what I did, I should say, but you know what? The learning process has to be your own. And yes, I had to have it trademarked. My clothing line is actually a quote that says, God is great, I am living proof. It's actually my testimony. So I've been through a lot in my life, and I wanted to share that with people. And what I found out, Sharonda, was that a lot of people resonated with the message. And you know, I was wearing it at first, and a couple people started asking me, where did you get that? Oh my God, I like it. And I was like, wait, what? So what I did, I went and got a couple samples printed out. Of course, I did a little bit of research about what kind of t-shirt, but I chose something that I really liked as far as material was concerned. And so I printed out a few, like 12, I think I bought a dozen. But before I got the t-shirts, I did them as a mug. Just to kind of feel it out, you know, and everybody started asking me, well, not everybody, about 20 people.
Okay, that's a lot of everybody.
Honest, right?
That's a lot
so
of
about
people.
20 people asked about it. I was like, oh my God, I think I have something. So I printed up a couple shirts, and I was folding them, and you know, I was taking my phone and I was taking pictures, and I started posting them on social media. Then a couple people from India and Africa and all kinds of places started saying, hey, do you have a website? And I didn't have a website yet.
Wow.
So it forced me to kind of figure it out. So I went online, I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. So I called a couple people, and I was like, you know what did you do? Because I know a couple people who have clothing lines as well. So I was like, hey, how did you do this? And what I learned is everybody's not willing to share information.
They are not. They are not.
So I was like, you know what? Google became my best friend. YouTube became my best friend. So I did a little research, and I kept doing it. And I figured it out. I went online, and I created my online store. Then I had to teach myself how to market it. You know, I had to figure out all the back end stuff, the SEOs and stuff like that. But the gratification was truly me learning and showing myself. And now I've pretty much got a nice handle on it. So it's worldwide, and people can get it wherever you are. So I had to learn the hard way. But the beautiful am I allowed to plug Shopify? But Shopify is like my best friend, because literally anytime, any day, 24 hours a day, there is somebody there to show me how to fix it, how to adjust, how to add, how to take away. So I learned the hard way, but I'm glad that I did it my way.
That is beautiful. And sometimes when we are not raised in a particular industry, everybody's a teacher or people work at the post office or they work at City Hall or wherever, and we don't have parents or people who are in our family where we can see these industries. We don't always know the ramifications, and I went straight to trademarking.
Absolutely.
Because we put things out and we will lose our intellectual property.
But thank God that I didn't. And somebody, because I've worked for several attorneys, so I did, I had that in the back of my head, and I also worked in the music industry. I was like, I have to copyright this, I have to trade this. So in the middle of all of it, and I didn't want to stop, and I also didn't want to be a train wreck. So I was like, you know what, let me stop in the middle. I called my friend who's an attorney. I was like, listen, this is what I have. He was like, oh my God, I think you have a really great product. I think you have a great quote. Let's get this done. So we did it. It cost me a couple of $100, but in the end, it was absolutely worth it. So now it's mine. Nobody can take it away from me. And if they try, then I'm on it. He's on it. So
I love it.
And you're right. We jump into things and we don't learn because there's nobody really around us teaching us everything. Because our parents teach us to work, go to school, go to college, get an education, and then turn around and work in corporate America. And my mom always knew that wasn't for me. So yeah, that's how it all came about.
And I love that because we have to know who we are. And people say, oh, well, they'll go to college and they'll come out without a job. I said, wait a minute. If you go to college, you can create your own job.
Absolutely. You cannot go to college and create your own job.
And that's true.
Okay, but I went to college. So.
Right. And what college did you attend?
Montclair State University.
What was your major?
Broadcasting and television.
So you have a bachelor's in broadcasting and television?
I have a associate's, and I also have a bachelor's in broadcasting and television. So I worked in television for many years. Nice. I worked for Fox and My 9 News and a few other stations.
Nice.
I got the experience. I also worked with Whoopi Goldberg. I was her intern at KTU for a couple of years. I also worked for Clive Davis at J Records. Not to be bragging or anything.
Oh no, but this is a great experience, and this is beautiful to share because you've been places, and you didn't just come up and say, "Here I am." You've played your role, and you've climbed the ladder, you've climbed the ranks, you've had these great experiences, and I'm sure that it's been a myriad of experiences that have taught you.
Yeah, that's just the gist. But I did go get the degree. I did go get the degree because I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine who's an attorney, very well versed. He's been practicing law for over 40 years.
Wow.
And he said to me, go and get your papers because that is something that no one could ever take away from you.
Yes.
And he said it will open doors for you beyond your wildest dreams.
Yes.
And what that has done for me is, it's a conversation piece, and sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Absolutely.
And it's not really about me having to get the piece of paper. It was really like the connections, the networking, the people that I met along the way that said, oh, here's so-and-so. Oh, you have to meet so-and-so, or go see so-and-so and tell them I sent you.
Yes.
So it was really all about relationship building and also me showing up.
Yes.
Because you have to show up for opportunities in order for you to get them. If you're shy or if you're an introvert, you can teach yourself how to network, how to put yourself out there. I've always been outgoing, so that's not my story.
Right.
But a part of me have always been afraid of rejection. But everything that I'm afraid of, I've always pushed just to see if I can do it. And that's been the part that's actually opened a lot of doors and gave me the opportunities that I now have.
And I think that's beautiful because people, we can talk loud and be the life of the party because I'm loud. I'm loud. Right. I'll go to the party. I'm the life of the party. Yes. But we have to know how to market ourselves, and we have to be able to take no's. I don't have any fear of anything, which is something I think is genetic because my grandmother said, you're just like me. And rejection is something that a lot of people say they can't take, and that kind of holds people back sometimes.
Oh, it'll keep you in a fetal position.
It sure will.
You'll be stuck.
Yes, but what we have to learn is that sometimes, and we can't be afraid of it, and it's easier said than done.
Yes.
But we have to get rid of fear because I read a meme on Facebook, and it said, don't be upset when a door is closed or if you knock and it doesn't open. It's okay to get that no or that quote unquote rejection.
But rejection prepares you.
It prepares you because you go back and say, what could I do better?
Yep.
Or it could be a situation where maybe going through that door wasn't the best because you need to be in this better place.
Absolutely.
So sometimes getting that no or what we think is rejection is actually guiding us. It's a blessing, guiding us to the right path, to the right place, to the right door.
I agree.
So I love that. I love that that's part of your journey.
Absolutely. And I've had a lot of no's, but I always say my no's have always just been not right now.
Right.
I never, if somebody says no to me, I'm like, I take that as a challenge. Like literally, if somebody says no, and I say, you know what, okay, and I sit back and I go, what could I have done differently, or perhaps it just wasn't the right time, you know, or maybe I just wasn't prepared, or maybe it was something that I said, because a lot of times we see people in positions, and just because we see them in positions, we think that they're supposed to open the door for us, or that they can actually open a door for us. And what they're doing is they're helping themselves, and they're trying to get themselves in the door, so they can't necessarily help you, you know, and a lot of times you have to be able to do the work. And the first part and the best part about getting the work done is actually showing up.
Yes, and showing up prepared.
Showing up prepared, scared, afraid, shaking, nervous, all of that stuff.
Right.
Show up.
Right.
And show up early.
Right. On time, early. As they say, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I have to work on.
Okay.
You know, I've been working on
and
it.
this is the business. This is the business of hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
So you get there, you wait, but guess what? You're on time.
And you're there.
And
you
you're
got to
there.
be in the room.
Absolutely.
And
have to be in the room. Have to be
That's
in
big.
the room. Yes. I talked to my students about that today. You know, showing up, making your voice heard, and making sure you're memorable.
Right.
You know, because a lot of times it could be something that you wear that makes people recognize you. Like, I'm bald, right? I love it. You can't forget that.
No, you can't.
You know, and a lot of times I'm boisterous, but it might be something that you said. But always leave a good impression and show up, man.
And it's interesting because I met you a few years back because someone said, you gotta meet Lunic.
Really?
You gotta meet. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? You're like, hi, how you doing? And you gotta meet Sharonda. And so we met, like, okay, you know, you guys are working in the community, da, da, da. And that's important too, when people know who you are and when they know how you are too.
Right.
See, people know you for your energy. They know you're all over the place, you're doing things. Some people know me for my truth.
Yeah.
And some people may like it or they don't.
Right.
But they have to respect it because they say, but you know she's going to tell the truth.
Right.
You know? She said it, you can take it to the bank.
Right.
And that's important because that's my brand. That's your brand.
Yes.
It's about being who you are.
Yes.
And wearing it proudly.
Yes.
Because some people are so fluid and they flip-flop and they just go any direction.
Very true.
And that's not okay in any type of business.
Right.
Because where are your standards? Where are your
right.
ethics?
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and speaking of more business, you are also a motivational speaker.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you talk about? I've never met a mic that I didn't like or love.
Right.
So you're a talker like me. I love that. What? And you're not shy.
Not at all.
We got to get out of this shyness.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. But I do get nervous.
For
you
what?
know, I get nervous because they say if you're not nervous, and I've heard a few people say that, then you sometimes can get comfortable. And my nerves sometimes, like I'm also a minister, right?
See?
So preaching the gospel and getting up and knowing scripture and being able to teach is a different monster,
yes,
I will say, than getting up and just kind of like saying some, energy stuff or motivational inspiration stuff and literally putting a battery in somebody's back and saying, go out there and rule the world. It's different. And I've been on so many platforms and I've traveled around the world, and what I found out was one of my favorite topics is literally confidence building.
Right.
Because a lot of people do not embrace the power that they have on the inside.
Yes.
A lot of us are living out here on the surface, what we're wearing, what our hair looks like, how much makeup we have, how expensive our shoes are, how many followers we have on social media.
Yeah.
And it's like this outward facade.
Yes, it is.
You know, and I teach people how to do the inner work.
Yes.
You know, how to get out of your own way, how to stop telling yourself that you're not enough, how to stop believing what other people are telling you about yourself. Because we do that, you know, whether we're scarred from childhood or an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend or mom or somebody told you something that wasn't true about you, and then you internalize it, and then you become that, and then you start living inside of this cocoon, and you're afraid to be who you are. Because I remember, and I'll share this, and it was so crazy because even as a little girl, I was always loud and outgoing, and people used to always say, shh, be quiet, whisper, you're too loud. Oh my God, can you lower your voice? And I would try to whisper, and I would try to lower my voice, and I always felt like I was choking, like literally choking. I felt like I couldn't
like
breathe.
a volcano,
honey, ready to erupt.
Exactly.
So what I found out was people were uncomfortable with me being myself.
And confident.
And what they were trying to do was to make me feel less than or to shut me up. And what I discovered throughout all of that was my gift.
Yes.
The gift of speaking, the gift of not being afraid, the gift of just being expressive and all of what I am. Like, I'm a big personality.
Here.
Right. And when you try to, you know, when you ever see like somebody tell a child, sit down, stop doing this, or stop doing that.
Yes.
Let them be, because that is when they're being the most creative. That's when they're being themselves. That is where they discover a lot of things.
Authenticity.
You know? Yes. And just being transparent.
Yes.
So my biggest thing is motivation, confidence, and teaching people how to be transparent and get out of your own way and just do what you've been called to do.
Oh,
You do it.
I love it because I have always been loud, and I've always been the center of attention.
But I don't know if it's loud. I think it's just express what you were born with.
But why? Because I've been a singer. I started performing when I was 4 on stage in shows on the mic and getting paid. Like I was always like there on stage, so I always had to be ready.
Yes.
And I was, because it was like, that's what you do. I was never nervous because it's like
nothing wrong with playing big.
Yeah, I was never nervous because it was like, okay, Sharonda, you have to go sing your song, and I knew I could sing, and I knew everybody was there to see me, so I was like, nervous for what? Because I prepared. But see, that's the thing. Prepare yourself. I was prepared.
Yes.
I used to say I had a singing disorder. I used to sing all the time, constantly. And that was the, oh my God, are you singing again? Are you stop singing? But it's like, and I used to say, when I make my millions, you're going to wish I would sing for you. You know? So it was like, I'm going to keep singing, la, 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 and what's your favorite song? Because I'm going to sing that.
See, that's great.
So it was like this uninhibited, free, limitless thing that people can say whatever, but in my mind, I knew everybody was here to see me.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is people's, like, and I said it earlier, like we're so focused on mimicking things that we see. And because social media is so prevalent now, we feel like, you know what, I'm not enough. I want to be more like this.
But that's the authenticity.
Right, but people want to ride waves.
Yes,
you know, and I get it. I get it, because social media literally, they've done studies on it. It's making people more insecure.
And depressed.
And depressed. So it's been times, and I'm going to tell you, like there's been times where I wanted to shift gears and do something different because I felt like what I was doing was not getting me out there. And when I don't live in my truth, I'm unhappy. And I realized like my energy is big because that's the way God wanted it.
Yes.
That's who I am.
That's your purpose.
Why shrink?
Don't.
You know, because
ever.
when I am myself, I give you and you and you and you and everybody permission to be their selves.
Yes. Authenticity.
Yes.
A lot of people
and they
don't
resonate with authenticity.
Yes.
You know?
So when you talked about getting yourself out there, you will always be out there as long as you are your authentic self. And that goes for everybody.
Yes.
Be your authentic self. And find out who you are. And I was an only child, so I was in the house alone. I could play and
creative,
find out
right?
create and just go.
The world of make-believe is the best world ever.
It is.
Yes.
And I'm like, people with siblings, I'm like, how did you get a chance to just like talk to yourself? Like,
right.
there's always somebody there. Like, you don't talk to yourself.
Right.
I was doing role play. I was all these different characters.
Yes.
And they were all me.
Nice.
So it's like, people need to take that time alone and get to know themselves.
Yes.
So I want to shift gears into your nonprofit.
Absolutely.
You are a founder of a nonprofit. What's the name of your nonprofit?
The nonprofit is called A Day at a Time.
Yes.
NJ. We're based in New Jersey, but we do a lot of work worldwide. Our mission is that everybody deserves a second chance.
Yes.
And what we do is we provide tools and resources for people who've experienced insurmountable things, you know, whether it's drug addiction or reentry or behavioral, you know, just mental health, you know, mental illness, whatever it is that you've experienced has had a damper on your life that has transformed you into someone you're not, you know, just to kind of help people get back to who they're supposed to be and live in their purpose. So we have several programs under our umbrella. One of the programs that I'm most proud of is our Teen Media Camp. It's called the Wonder Years. Like literally we are in full swing right now. I literally just left the camp to come here to be with you.
You did. Thank you so much.
And I transformed. I was in a t-shirt and stuff. But it's called the Wonder Years, Young Entrepreneurs Achieving Real Success. So because of my background in broadcasting and television, I decided to turn it into a 4-week hardcore, intense summer program where I teach girls. It's an all-girls program where I teach them storytelling, shooting, editing. We do self-esteem building, self-awareness. I have a lot of professionals that come in. We actually teach the program at Rutgers University. It's at Express Newark on Halsey Street in Newark. So the girls come every day at 8:30 to 4:30. And we just, you know, we go in. I teach them exactly what we're doing here. Camera angles, camera work, storyboarding, you know, how to mic, how to operate a camera, sound, the whole thing.
So you know this. This is
Yeah. So we also have a life skill program. We have a program called Christmas in Haiti, where we collect toys all year round, and we actually we have an orphanage that we sponsor in Haiti. So we send the toys to the orphanage. It's about 42 students. So we send it. It's like young kids all the way to like elders as well. You know. So we send that to them, and we do quarterly feedings. So we feed the homeless as well 4 times a year, and then for my birthday in November we do it for an entire week.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so we do a lot of community work and also worldwide international work.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what are the ages of the girls in this media camp?
The girls are 13 to 17. This year I have a dynamic group. The girls are really, really amazing, and I get so teary-eyed because they come in completely like this. They don't, you know, they don't know each other. They're from all walks of life and all types of backgrounds. And like by the end of the first day, they're best friends.
And they're like flowers.
They're like flowers. It takes a little while. And this year was really awesome. I had my friend Daryl, shout out to Daryl, who came out. He is a performer, an artist. He also teaches at NJ So he came in to do icebreakers. They were dancing. They were doing runway. He educated them on runway. He educated them, you know, on just fierceness. And he did a huge confidence building workshop. You know, they danced and it was just amazing. And then by Wednesday, we took them to the beach and I couldn't pull them apart. So we come back today, which is Monday, from a full weekend. And I literally have to be like, okay, guys, get your stuff. Your parents are downstairs and they're still together. So it's really about relationship building and teaching young Black girls how to be amazing. We're raising them strong Black girls to rock and rule the world.
I love it. I love it because I know how important those activities are.
Oh my God.
The beach.
Oh my God. Some of them don't leave their cities, their towns.
The block.
The block to go do things. Well, with me, honey, they do everything.
I love it.
Yeah, we're traveling, we're shooting, we're editing, we're interviewing, all types of people from all walks of life. But most importantly, we get on the van and we go out and we do stuff. We go places.
And that's beautiful because that's a skill.
Yes.
And it could that can, you know, have them to build on so much more.
Oh, absolutely. Many of them have YouTube channels.
See?
A lot of them are creatives. They want to do like, you know, really powerful things. my Team Media Camp, not mine, our Team
Yes.
Media Camp are actually 2-time award winners
Nice.
in the Newark International Film Festival. So their film won 2 years in a row. And we're shooting for a 3rd year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yes.
And you know, there are TV networks like Aspire, and they like short films like
Absolutely.
that. And that is so important for our kids to really, our youth, to have
Yes.
those experiences where they create
Yes.
the imagery.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the damage is because of the poor imagery, because of the lack of inclusion, the authenticity of our image.
Absolutely.
Us being able to tell the stories and tell our truth from our purpose.
Yes.
So I'm just so grateful that you're doing that.
Yes, it's needed.
It is.
You know, they say find the need and fulfill it. And that's what I've been doing. And it's like every summer I'm completely blown away by the transformation, the friendship, and the growth and the opportunity and the topics that they choose to do their films is really, really amazing. So, you know, they've been on many platforms. They've been asked to come on different platforms to talk about their film topics and why they chose certain topics. And, you know, they're out doing interviews and red carpets and stuff like that. So, yeah, you know, so the nonprofit, we actually raise the money ourselves.
I was going to ask you that.
We're not
How do you
funded.
raise your
Yeah,
money?
we're not funded by any big organizations. We're not opposed to it either, but we are looking for funding. But every year we do an annual Trailblazer Award ceremony where we honor local celebrities and people that are doing great things within the community who are blazing their own trails. This year we honored Deja Vu, Leah Janae, Akbar Cook, who's the principal at Westside High
she's
School.
amazing.
Kenneth Gifford, filmmaker. We did Wendy McKenzie, who is an acting coach. So we have a lot of awesome, amazing people that we honored this year. Vinnie Brown from Naughty by Nature.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah.
really awesome.
That's beautiful.
Michelle Morgan, yep.
So basically, your Trailblazing Award ceremony is like your primary Capitol building campaign.
Absolutely, yep. And then we do a Facebook online fundraiser, which is like a nice thing, you know. And then also people, you know, they jump in, they help out, and then we have a few sponsors which are like local. A lot of the restaurants in the area sponsor the girls all summer. Some of the parents that from last year, they come back and they give back and they help out. So yes, that's how we are funded.
So do you have volunteers or do you have staff?
Yes, we have volunteers. I have an awesome assistant this summer. She is a junior at Lincoln University, so she's helping us out this summer. And I have some professors and professionals from Rutgers and Montclair State who are who come in and actually help us facilitate the workshops and stuff like that. So yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have found such a beautiful niche.
Yes.
And you have surrounded yourself with the right resources.
Oh, absolutely.
and
Looking
the
for
right
more
professionals.
resources, but yes.
Right. And I think that's very important. And I say this all the time. It's important to showcase this because sometimes people need to hear what you're doing
Yes.
so they can live in their proper purpose, because
Yes.
sometimes people are stuck in, you know, chasing their tail or doing things that are counterproductive.
Absolutely.
And sometimes when they see somebody else in their purpose, it may grow them up a little bit.
Oh yeah, it grows them up a lot bit.
A lot bit. And say, wait a minute, I'm really
A lot bit.
I'm a sandcastle kicker.
Yes, right.
I'm the problem.
Right,
I'm
right.
the problem.
And I'm going to tell you, I had this one. Well, I have several, but this one woman that I remember, she stopped me inside one of the supermarkets. She said, "Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you in person. You know, I had to stop following you on social media because every time you made a motivational quote or I see you doing stuff, you made me feel like I'm not doing enough with my life." I was like, what? Okay, I was hoping to inspire you. She said, no, I'm getting it together. As a matter of fact, let me grab my phone. I'm going to start following you again. It was because I felt like you were speaking to me as if I needed to get my life together, and it spoke true to me.
And she did. And
Yes.
I thank you
Yes.
for coming,
Yes.
Ms. Lunic Boyd, to
Yes.
speak.
Yes.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in.
Yes.
I'm Sharonda Allen. Thank you for watching We the Village.
After pitching all these years,